Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 98 of the 72 review. Plenty to be getting through this evening across the EFL Championship, League One and League Two. So we'll get through introductions nice and quickly and straight on to League Two, where, like I say, plenty of ups and downs, twists and turns to go through. If you don't know me already, I'm Dan. I do Doncaster Rovers content on this channel, plus the 72 review. There is a link in the description for the Eves Trust charity game, and also the pinned comment. Doncaster Rovers Legends versus Manchester United Legends, fundraising for that once again. So if you can spare anything, I would be greatly appreciated. We've got two joining us this weekend, so we will start. Next to me, it is Puncture 41. Let people know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate.
Hello, I'm Puncture 41. I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan, getting very close to that 4.5k, which is nice. I think I'm like 10 away.
Nice.
So if I can get that, I'll be happy. But I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan. I talk rubbish about my club, which is quite easy to do, really, because we seem to have a drama after drama after drama. You don't like EastEnders. Wednesday can be a soap opera for yourself. It's so much fun. It doesn't make you feel old at all. But yeah, last couple ones I've had to miss due to just general stuff, and this week was a bit of life. But yeah, no one tells you how dreadful a 1-year-old is when you've got two of them. Yeah. I'm just saying that now. If you get a 1-year-old, just find someone else to help look after it.
Don't have kids. That's the overriding emotion at the minute. And below us is Ian. Banner says it all. Congratulations to Peterborough United winning the Virtu Trophy, retaining the Virtu Trophy. First team, I think we were saying, first team to retain it ever in the history of that competition. So well done. And the Birmingham fans who they beat today won't be liking you with that top on, Ian. But yeah, let people know who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Why do you think I've done it?
Ian wouldn't wind up what another fan base. That's not Ian's style.
Yeah, no. I'm Ian. I'm a 63-year-old Rotherham season ticket holder. And when the Millers are away, I'm all over the place. Sometimes vlogging, sometimes like yesterday, not vlogging. But I'm around the EFL covering just the EFL as a whole. Which especially this season has been far better than the Premier League for drama, excitement, goals, you name it. It's been a great season.
It has indeed. As always, get your comments in. It does drive conversation. So yeah, get them in the chat, and I'll try and bring up as many as possible. Well, let's get into League Two. We'll get the ticker across the bottom. Bring the game up. I'm going to start in Doncaster. Ian, you joined us yesterday to watch Donny versus Wimbledon, so I'll let you start as a neutral. How did you find the game? It's been a while since you've been. The match experience group have made improvements. Did you feel improvements to the atmosphere and surrounding the game and stuff? And then on to the game itself, how did you find it?
I did actually. The experience were good. I mean, the new speaker system and everything adds to the atmosphere. And I thought it was a fairly good atmosphere for League Two, and also a very good attendance. It was just touching on 9,000, I believe, which were decent. And it was a good turnout from AFC Wimbledon as well, all the way down there for an early kick-off from London. I thought it was a good turnout. As for the match itself, I thought that Wimbledon were the better team when it was 11 against 11. And then there was the better team after Billy Sharp got sent off for the last few minutes. But in between, it were mostly Doncaster. I mean, I think at 1-1, I think it was a fair result. I honestly do think it was a draw with a fair result. It wasn't the best of games, to be honest with you. Wimbledon defended quite well. They repelled most of what Doncaster had to throw at them. And it took a Jamie Sterrier effort that were massively deflected to actually get a goal. Sharp, with a guy with his experience, nearly 800 games under his belt. Why does he stick his head in a Wimbledon play? I mean, fair enough, it were his shoulder or his back. In full view of the officials, I mean, he gave them a decision to make. Probably a red was on the harsh side, but he was going to get some sanction or other.
Yeah.
And it was just idiocy. I mean, he'd only been on the field 30 seconds before he did that. And to be honest, I mean, after Sterry equalised, I mean, Wimbledon had a gilt-edged chance to win it. When unfortunately the guy that got put through was a centre back.
It was centre back's finish as well, wasn't it?
It was a centre back's finish, yeah, right in Rose's head. If Stevens had still been on the pitch instead of being sacrificed after the first red card, I think you'd be looking at a home defeat there. But as things have turned out with the weekend results, it's not a disaster for Doncaster at all.
No, I don't think you're far wrong with that assessment, Ian. I think you've pretty much hit the nail on the head with a lot of it. What I would say is I don't think 1-1 was a fair result. I think we forced the issue, but Wimbledon defended so well. The frustrating thing for me was that we didn't overload the wings enough. We didn't test their keeper nearly enough. I mean, you look at the shots.
When you
goal,
shots 3 on target. You got to be at least that got at least,
and that for me is the story of this season, where we've had teams come to us and have 1-2 shots on goal and find the back of the net in most, and it's just so frustrating. I mean, I had an argument with a family member yesterday. Said it's a good point. I think every point at this stage of the season is a decent point, but it'll show if this is 2 points dropped come the end of the season. Now, I want Donny to succeed. I want us to get automatic promotion. I do not want the playoffs. I really don't. It's a great way to go, but it is just such a lottery. I don't want it. I want top 3. First, second, third. I really don't care what position, but for me, we've dropped far too many points at home, especially recently. We were 2-0 up against Swindon, although they fight to the death, as we'll see shortly. It finished 2-2. Against Walsall, we went ahead 2 times in the game. It finished 2-2. This one, a simple... Well, we just weren't switched on 5 minutes into the game, and we 1-0 down.
It was so easy, their goal. Their goal was so easy. Just bad defending.
Yeah, just not switched on.
But it's something a lot about this season, though, Dan, that you said that Donny had this ability just to either first, second half, they just don't wake up enough. They're not quick enough out the gate, and it shows. And the thing is, if you're having 18 shots, that got to be at least double figures on shots on target.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't have that. And look at with how much of the ball you've had. Surely you should be able to muster up a better chance.
I mean, Ian will back me up on this. I got really frustrated before we equalised because we were passing the air out of the ball, and we were trying to score the perfect goal. We were trying to thread a needle, and Wimbledon defended so well. They were really robust, really well organised. And when you come up against a team like that, I think sometimes you just need to take a pot shot on, like Sterry did. It's taken a deflection, it's taken it past the keeper, and it's 1-1. But it might hit a hand and you get a penalty. It might hit a defender and go wide for a corner where you've got a decent set piece to test them. But we were trying to find that killer pass and score a perfect goal.
Who can do that as well. You've got a lot of players that will take a long range shot, and you've scored a lot of them this season. So I think sometimes with Donny, they overdo what Grant wants to do, and it may be what Grant is saying. No, you're doing too much. They either go too far that way or not enough that way. There isn't that middle ground, is there?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I will certainly take this point because Wimbledon are a good team. The best defence in the league. Fighting for points just like we are. And it might be a really good point if we go to Salford on Tuesday and win. But it's still in our hands. I've got to take that. But yesterday I was so frustrated in thinking about the points that we've dropped. I went back through the fixtures and I've got a full sheet of paper where I think we've dropped points. I'm not going to go through it, but I go all the way back to August against Newport away from home. We're 1-0 up at half time, and just said it, Jake, about us not being switched on. It was 1-1 on 47 minutes. Immediately after half time, they pegged us back. And then 2 goals in 3 minutes, 66 and 69, killed the game, and they won 3-1. And there's 10 games on here where I think that we've had either more of the ball, loads of shots but not enough on target, or we should have come away with more points. And I think we've dropped 25 points. Obviously, you're not going to win all them games, and there's games which happen, and the result is the result because we simply weren't good enough. But on the levels that I've seen us play at, I think we should be further ahead than what we are. I look at the other divisions, and there's 3 teams in each division on 80 plus points. There's not one team yet in League Two on 80 plus points. That means it's either really competitive or it's really poor, depending which way you look at it.
I think it's a bit of both, because if you look at a couple of months ago where Walsall were, they were flying.
Yeah.
And I think in League Two there's a something to be said about how a lot of teams get too complacent. They get complacent, they're happy where they are, and they're cruising. Look at Port Vale start of the season. They were having a real good flyer. They had that dip, and now they start to get back into that rhythm again and going, hey, come on, let's be consistent. I think the problem with League Two, they're not, and I think it's across most of the EFL, barring League One. A lot of clubs aren't consistent this season. There's a lot of teams where you look at them, you go, oh, you should win that, and that, and they don't. And there's been times where we looked at the games that it's been loss, win, draw, loss, win. And it's sometimes the draws that are killing the league a little bit, then the losses, because I think there's so many clubs that don't go for it anymore.
Yeah.
But I think 5, maybe 6 years ago, teams went for it a lot more. Nowadays, there's like the chance to get a winner. You don't see it that often.
No, I agree. I'm just going to have a quick look through the comments. Roy is in. He said we need to win the game in hand now because playoffs is a lottery. Yeah, win that game in hand. It's still in our hands, and I'm trying to be positive about it. I think we win that game in hand.
You win on Tuesday. You win on Tuesday.
Yeah, it puts us in a really good position. Yeah. Nathan said suspensions across the season is our biggest issue. No team can afford to have 8 reds in a season. Yeah, it's frustrating that and they're all silly reds, to be fair. There's not really one that I thought that's a definite red. Well, Sharpie was a definite red. The reds that have been given are definite reds, but it's through
the definite red, but they're not one where you can go, why you done it? It's like silly red cards, but what you're trying to say, in it.
Yeah, stupid red cards. Like I think back to Gibson's where he's moved the ball and then the refs told him to put it back and then he's moved it again and got a second yellow, or Sharpie's petulance yesterday. I don't think it's cost us points in terms of kind of the red cards in games. But then you're losing key players for games after.
Is it a 3-match ban now for Billy Sharp?
Great red,
yeah. Any other comments? We have got Mark. Ref didn't see Sharp incident, but takes the word of the players. I think the linesman's had a really good view of that. I'm hoping that the linesman's in communication with the referee rather than the players.
And I saw it clearly.
I think the lino will have seen it and been in the ref's ear. It was definite red. You can't really argue. We've got Finley in the chat as well. Hope all's well. Finley said, not enjoyable watch Wednesday lately, but we've got to watch no matter what. Back in the team, not the regime.
Exactly.
Always welcome on the channel, Finley. I disagree with that, Mark. Sharp needs to go. I think he's got enough credit in the bank for us not to be saying stupid stuff like that. That's my opinion. You're entitled to yours. It's stupidity in one game, but he is the type of player that will come back with the bit between his teeth and probably get the goal to get us promoted. But there we go. Moving on to other games. I think we go to Bradford next.
I was going to say, there's only one other game you could go before that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Jake, you've not said too much. Me and Ian have been doing a lot of talking. Swindon 5.
If you want a game of the EFL, this is it. Probably this one and probably the Plymouth game is the games of the EFL this weekend. Just for drama alone. Bradford are on a really good run at the minute. They're starting to click. They're clicking at the right time. But where did they come from? Because Swindon are looking good, but they just crumbled. Yeah. I've never seen Bradford defend that badly this season. They have it in the locker, but that was just like the goal that won it for them. It's simple defending. Put your foot through it, put your laces through it. And again, it's a red card that you look at, you go, okay, fair enough. You go on, you carry on. But 2 90-minute goals for Swindon Town. It shows you where their levels are, and they're already safe.
Yeah.
They're already guaranteed safe. For them, they're just running on vibes now. What can we do till the end of the season? I hate that word. But they are running on that kind of, let's just see what we can do. We got this far. Let's just have some fun now. But 27 shots and 12 on target. That is insane.
I think the red cards impacted this game, hasn't it? It's kind of made it a bit of an attack versus defence, and then Bradford have capitalised a couple of times on the break.
It's not very often you get a hat trick and you're on the losing team, is it?
No.
Well,
no.
Not very often you go 4 away from home and lose.
No,
it isn't. But yeah, a surprise result nonetheless. I think it's opened it up at the top of the table.
It does, yeah.
And it's made the point that Donny earned an half decent one.
Yeah.
But like John's just said, Swindon game gives Notts a touch of hope on Thursday. I'm not saying that we will win, but possibility against Bradford. I think it's a massive, massive game towards the top of the table. And I think
credit got to go to Bradford and Swindon though in this league, because some of the season they were out.
Yeah.
Swindon weren't looking like staying up, and Bradford were definitely not looking like getting in top 3.
Yeah. I mean, John's also said looking at points, there's still a slim possibility for Notts to get in autos, but it's unlikely. It's strange.
Too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Too inconsistent for mine on it.
Thoughts on the celebration on the 5th goal? I mean, I've said quite a lot about celebrations on this show over the past couple of weeks.
That was a bit naughty.
I didn't like it.
I'll put it out there. I didn't like it. As always,
I thought it was. They're taking it too far, and that took it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those ones where I don't know. Did any of the players get carded?
No, I don't think they did.
If I'm a ref, I'm being such a horrible and going yellow card, yellow card, yellow card. I don't care if you got a yellow. That's cool.
Yeah.
The lad just put it in his own net.
I'm surprised that Jack Shepherd didn't stand up and lamp one of them, to be honest with you. I'm really surprised. Yeah.
I opened that question out to the chat, shithousery, with that celebration. If you've seen it, did you think it was funny, or probably a bit too far? And in fairness, Smith's come out and apologised for it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But like you said, there's a lot going on in the 90 minutes that people don't necessarily see. So I think
you let your
Jack
emotions
Shepherd's probably pushed a few buttons as the 90 minutes has gone, and it's just kind of boiled over when they've obviously scored the own goal. So I can kind of understand it, but I just think it's a bit disrespectful. But that's my 2 pence. Walsall, another result that went Donny's way. They fell off a cliff, haven't they?
They've gone, haven't they? They really have gone
completely.
It's like they've gone, we're pretty much plain sailing in February, we got it wrapped up, and then they've just gone whoop.
Yeah. I mean, any team that goes to Barrow is going to get a battle. They're a decent side, especially on their own part. But I don't know, 7 shots, 0 on target. I mean, that is struggling. That really is struggling.
Yeah.
And that's a team that was going week in, week out to not going at all now, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they were scoring hat foot, mind you. They had that Nathan Lowe, didn't they? On loan from Stoke. And he's gone back and he's playing his Stokes under 21s now.
Yep.
It can't be that one player that's the key for Walsall, though. There's got to be something else, surely.
Sometimes
they've got a decent team, but it's just the confidence has gone altogether.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see them getting automatic promotion now. No. And a team in the form that Walsall are in at the moment are going to struggle in the playoffs unless there's a massive turnaround.
Yeah, big reset.
Can anybody see it? Because I
mean, Riley said sack Sadler. It'd be a ballsy move, wouldn't it, to sack him at this stage and hope for
I think you give him the end of the season, and then if you assess things and go from there. I get that whole thing of saying sack him, let's see what happens, but it doesn't automatically mean you're going to get a new manager bounce. No. It doesn't always work that way. No.
Could though.
Could. Doesn't mean should.
Before we go to Port Vale, we will touch on Notts County because I've had a few comments from John that I've starred and Dale as well. Notts County fans.
It was the weekend, wasn't it, for own goals in League Two? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So John said, a terrible performance on Friday at Meadow Lane. Notts were always second best, except for our one goal. Opinions divided. Should Stuart Maynard stay or go? I think he'll stay. Disappointing result. And Dale said, very poor from us on Friday. Again, surprised if we will be in the playoffs come the end of the season. On to Bradford Thursday night. Hope you managed to get a ticket for the last game of the season. Yeah, me too. We'll see how it all stacks up. You've given us just shy of 2,000, so I think I should have enough points to get a ticket. We will see.
It's a decent away end at Notts as well on the side. It's a decent away end.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, a fantastic result for Salford in this one. It's give them a chance, an outside chance still of playoffs. And to go to Notts County, who were up there pushing for autos, it's a tough place to go, isn't it? And I think that Kelly and Mai just
keeping quiet when you play him.
Yeah.
When you play them, keeping quiet. And
the last two goals were decent strikes, weren't they? Really decent.
And I think there's something about Salford, because I think they've just been put up for sale. So if I'm right, I wonder if there's a bit of a shift in what's going to be happening, because we've all know what the whole Salford City situation is, who owns it and all that lot. But if they can get it where they can take away that, I don't want to say stigma, but that pressure. Yeah. Maybe having them as owners is too much heavy on the shirt.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah, great result for Salford. It makes me worry, to be fair, for Tuesday night. I think and my Adelaide and Cole Stockton is a decent front three and one that will probably struggle to keep quiet.
It's not bad, is it? And Stockton will always score goals in this league.
Yeah.
We will quickly touch on the bottom of the table. Accrington 3, Tranmere 3.
That is an incredible comeback, that.
Yeah.
12 minutes to go, 3-0 down.
90-11, Jesus.
And all three goals were screamers
from
Tranmere.
Yeah. Unreal scenes in the away end, and that's kind of, it's not helped either team out at the bottom.
It's a great game for the neutral, but if you're an Accrington Stanley fan, you're going, "How we thrown that away?" And if you're a Tranmere fan, you go, "How we managed to get that back?"
Yeah, it feels like a win for Tranmere, a defeat for Accrington, but a draw, in fairness, doesn't really do either of them all that many favours. But
Carlisle, how are they doing?
They beat Morecambe 2-0.
Not bad.
But I do think
I think that consigns, sadly, Morecambe to the drop.
Yeah.
And sadly, I think that confines Morecambe to not being a club again.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Because they are still in a lot of trouble with financial. Now, being out of the EFL may make them a little bit easier to buy. You never know, just because because somebody might go, well, you're not EFL now. I don't have to do some of the EFL reason to buy you. I can make a sale easier. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, Carlisle have given themselves a little bit of a squeak, but I still think it's come too late.
Yeah. I think they're still 6 points behind, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're gonna have one hell of a run.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, but oh wow. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Sorry, we should never go in a job by it. It's just
So back to the top of the table. So everybody, Bradford and Walsall losing, nobody in the chasing pack winning. It gave Port Vale the opportunity to get top spot.
Take it?
And they took it indeed.
5 goals from 6 shots on target. That's bloody good.
Pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like Thomas has said, Port Vale's board kept faith with Darren Moore and are now in pole position to go up. Happy for him.
Same. Same. I think we said before we started that the one thing Darren does well, give him a plan. If you let him plan something and give him the tool to do it, he can do it.
Yeah.
He nearly did it at Donny. He did it at Wednesday to a point, getting us out, and we just didn't do it. If you give that man a plan, he's one of the best managers you can get in because he knows how to motivate them. He knows how to get them when they're down. He doesn't, unlike some managers, and Dan will know this, even after a game, he'll like, we've lost, but we just move on to the next one. It's no big deal. It's football.
Yeah.
He's got that mentality.
And he's such a nice fella as well.
Yeah.
To meet him, he's such a nice guy. Yeah.
Chases money though, so I think he's a prick.
I don't have that on my soundboard anymore. I'll play it.
No, I'm joking. I agree with what Thomas is saying. The board have kept faith with him after relegation, and they've given him the tools to do the job, and they're getting rewarded for that. And yeah, pole position for getting promoted and probably winning the championship. To be fair,
yeah,
decent.
Can
so,
we, before we go to the table, Dan? Can we just take our hats off to Kieran Green from Grimsby with that goal he got at Harrogate?
Yes.
Did you see? Anybody see it? It was like Beckham's against Wimbledon, only better.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was some way out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he must have been 60-yard out.
Yeah,
it was, and the technique on it. I mean, yeah, it lofted over the keeper, but it didn't go too high. It just sort of like just sailed over the keeper. It was fantastic. If that were in the Premier League or in the Champions League, they'd have been showing it for months.
Yeah, very good technique. They'll be disappointed though, being 2-0 up and letting that go.
Yeah, they will.
So late on, but I think they're still in the playoffs, aren't they? So
yeah, they are.
The table,
Harrogate will battle until the end. They're that sort of side. Yeah.
Carlisle giving themselves a chance. And you could possibly say Morecambe, but I think Morecambe are gone.
Yeah.
Carlisle giving themselves a chance. Now, it all depends if Aki can start picking up points quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the 6 points adrift, 4 games to play. So they need Accrington to lose all 4, really. And then to win.
I think Tranmere just need one more win, really.
Yeah, hopefully that comes on Easter Monday, not Good Friday, because we play them Good Friday. So, yeah, still got something to play for. But I do think the bottom 2 at the minute are the 2 that are going down.
Aki got Salford next game, which will be difficult. Carl, and you've also got on Monday, it's Aki versus Carlisle.
Oh wow,
massive game. That could decide who stays up and who goes down. Up into the playoffs, so extremely tight picture here. Salford got a game in hand Tuesday night against Donny. If they win that, they're on 64 points, 2 points behind Grimsby in 7th, so plenty to play for them. Chesterfield and Colchester currently chasing down Grimsby. I think it's probably a little bit too much for Chesterfield to get those 4 points, but stranger things have happened. Colchester certainly well within the mix of getting into that top 7. At the minute, though, it's Grimsby, Notts County, Wimbledon and Donny fighting out in the playoffs. But if Donny win our game in hand, we move up to 2nd, dropping Walsall into the playoffs. Bradford in 2nd at the minute, Port Vale, with a 3-point gap at the top of the table. So extremely tight. Hopefully there will be twists and turns. Couple of wins for Donny and League One football next year. We will see.
Seeing the table, yesterday's game at the Eco Power could be a playoff semi-final.
Don't say that.
I don't want playoffs. So that's League 1 done. League 2 done and dusted. We will quickly fly through League 1. Big congratulations to Birmingham.
Yep.
Now champions. They've been been there for some time, haven't they? But officially champions this weekend.
It did, but I do feel sorry for them a little bit with all the comments. Oh, you did do it with 20 million quid, but you always get that one team in League 1 that come down with a lot of cash. It does happen a lot. So
I mean, it's same as if Luton get relegated from the Championship, they'll go into League 1 still getting Premier League parachute money. Yeah,
ridiculous, isn't it?
So
Rotherham, Ian, a little bit of a resurgence since
massive
Malik.
Massive resurgence.
Actually, I did it
took
twice
the lead
at Donny as
early.
well. Did it twice at Donny, wasn't
Yeah, he were, yeah. Started pretty well. Took the lead with a nice goal. Reece James, good cross, and Malik Wilt's header. Unfortunately, I mean, because of the fact that we've been playing Tuesday, Saturday, since Matt Amshaw took over, and we got that many injuries, we couldn't change the team. And I think against a team as good as Stockport, I think we ran out of steam a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially second half, where we got overrun. But Stockport at Edgeley Park are a frightening proposition. They've got a good manager, like Jake said. They've got a plan. They stick to that plan. That plan's successful. They're definitely going into the playoffs. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And they'll be dangerous opposition for anybody in the playoffs.
They'll be one of the difficulty teams to play out of the lot in that playoffs pack.
So I've got absolutely no complaints with this result at all. I expected it because of the number of games we've played in such a short space of time and not being able to change the team. But what I wanted when Matt Amshaw took over from Steve Evans, I wanted us to be competitive.
Yeah.
We've won 3 on the bounce and lost this one, but we were competitive in every one of them. So you can't really ask for more than that. And I just hope that Matt Amshaw gets the job permanently because he gets us as a club.
Yeah.
Whereas,
I'll be honest with you, it will be very nice for Rotherham to actually go with someone a bit different than trying to go for it. Rotherham do the same thing that Plymouth Peterborough done. They go through the rolling handbook of going, we've hired this one before it worked. We'll have this one again. And I think sometimes it's good to have a change.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he knows the club. He were on Paul Warren's coaching staff when Paul Warren was with us.
Yeah.
He knows the club. He's a local lad. He's a Rotherham supporter through and through. And I think he will get his teams, whoever he recruits, to buy into that ethos, but fighting for the badge. That's all we need.
You could be looking at the next dead booking for Rotherham.
Well, to be honest, if that were the case, I'd be very happy. Very happy. But no complaints with yesterday. It was just a game too many, you know what I mean? Yeah. And now we've got a week to sort of rest as tired players until Mansfield come to New York on Friday, which will be a good game. I mean, it's a dead rubber because both teams are safe, but Mansfield have sold out their allocation. So it should be an half-decent atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should be. 80 ideas coming with our truth. Birmingham will come straight back down. There's a strong League One team, but Whipping Boy Championship team.
I disagree.
They've got a chunk of money to spend, though, haven't they?
Because they will recruit. They will recruit, and they'll recruit well. And I think there'll be more than a match for the championship. I think they'll survive easily.
Yeah. Any other League One games that you boys want to touch on?
Can I touch on one? I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but I'm sorry. But if Gary Bowyer keeps Burton Albion in League One, which he looks like doing, he should win the Manager of the Season for that division because they were dead and buried a few weeks ago.
I saw a lot of Huddersfield Town fans who are ready for the owner to get stuff now. They've had enough. Not work.
I mean, that wasn't a defeat for Huddersfield. That were a pasting.
Yeah. It's been a tough week for Huddersfield. Beat 1-0 midweek at home to Wickham. Anthony
5 shots, 0 on target.
Yeah, Anthony yesterday at the football said that it was a very similar game to when we went and watched Huddersfield play Birmingham, where they just didn't have that much of the ball, not kind of forcing the issue, not having kind of shots at goal, similar to yesterday by the looks of it. So
this wasn't Birmingham, this was Burton Albion.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he's got those players believing, the same players that were underperforming all season. He's got them believing. And Bowyer, wow, he's done a fantastic job. And I hope they do step up. It's Bristol Rovers that are looking vulnerable now.
Yeah, because that result, and coupled with Bristol Rovers 1, Exeter 2. ATID will like that scoreline, I'm sure. I think that's put Bristol Rovers into the bottom 4.
It has, yeah. It has.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a
I'll
great
be honest
game.
with you. I'll be honest with Bristol Rovers haven't really probably recovered since having Barton as manager. They've not found the right one yet to get it to work.
Yeah, because Matt Taylor didn't work, did he?
No,
He didn't
and
work.
I think it's one of those things. You look at what them going down probably would be a good thing just for them to reset again.
Possibly,
I'm not 100% sure they can reset again in League One.
Because they'll be a huge club in League Two, Bristol Rovers. They'll be one of the biggest clubs in there.
Yeah. Hopefully you've started my thoughts on Argyle. I have the star, they're ready to go when we get into the Championship. Can't be bothered to retype it. And fairly indifferent. Can't stand either of these teams. Yeah, because
like it.
It's a game where you wanted both to lose.
Yeah.
Jake, any League One game that you want to touch on before we
I just didn't see the Barnsley result.
Very good.
Did not see that result at all.
No.
They have
been a hell of a meltdown on the Bolton social media.
Never.
They're not happy at all.
The thing is, I'll be honest with you though, it's not unusual for it to be the other way around because Barnsley fans have not been happy this season.
No.
If you listen to Praise or Grumble, they are grumpy as sin at the minute because something's not right. And I don't think it's the Gaffer's fault. I think he's trying to get the best out of that team, and I think he got the best of what he can, and it's just not been their season. But
I think getting Darryl Clark was a mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, good result for Barnsley. I'm not
what
sure
is it with these teams that sack managers that build?
Yeah.
You literally look at the teams we've been mentioning. They've all got managers that build.
Yeah.
You give them the time.
Yeah. But
a lot of chairmen don't give managers the time, do they?
Nope.
Yeah,
I mean,
they want instant success.
You can't label that at Tony Stewart at Rotherham because he gave Steve Evans virtually the whole of the season and he failed. So, I mean,
I don't think ATID like Bolton either.
See, I'm not too bothered about Bolton now though they got rid of Everett.
Yeah.
I don't think like Everett.
Yeah. Looking at the table, so bottom 4 now consist of Shrewsbury, Cambridge, Crawley, and Bristol Rovers, but it's goal difference that puts Bristol Rovers in the bottom 4. Burton just above them, and then a 5-point gap between Burton and Northampton, who have it's a little bit of form. To be fair to them, 2 draws, a win, and 2 defeats in the last 5.
It's amazing how we looked at like League 2 and League 1, and you look at Mansfield and MK Dons, you think where they were near the start of the season, and you look at the drop off, and you're like, where the hell's it gone?
Yeah, it's been a massive drop off, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a season of 2 halves.
I know that at the end of the season, Nigel Clough at Mansfield's out of contract.
Is it?
What will happen there? I wonder.
I wouldn't surprise if he goes, I'll take another foul as I can.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, possibly. 13th, Ian?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with that. Considering the season we've had, that it's been poor the majority of it. So I'm quite happy with that. If we finish that, I'll be very happy. Yeah.
Huddersfield look like their playoff hopes are slipping away rapidly this week with the two defeats. Yeah, they're 5 points away from Reading, who are having a wonderful time on the field, not so much off it. But yeah, they're in the playoffs with Charlton, Stockport, and Wickham.
I think the last time they said Reading, I think I read Reading in talk with a new potential buyer. I think one dropped out, and now they've got another buyer lined up. Yeah. But the clock is ticking. They've already given the 90-day extension, so
yeah, it needs to be done.
I hope it comes off because their supporters have had to put up with a lot.
Yeah.
Wrexham smashing it at the minute, 82 points, unbeaten in the last 5. They're just keeping Wickham at arm's length, aren't they? There's only 1 point between them.
Wickham aren't going away, are they? Wickham aren't going away.
No. So yeah, it's a fight out for that for that last place.
Got to
really, between
remember,
them.
Wycombe done this before though, where they've been in and around it and then blown it. But I
Yeah.
wonder if that'll help them knowing that they'd had it before and build
Possible.
on that.
Yeah. But a huge congratulations to Birmingham, crowned champions after Wrexham's draw yesterday and their win midweek. So, bit of a
Now they just want the point total.
a bit of a two-sided coin today, isn't it? Obviously, the positives of being crowned champions this weekend, but then the disappointment of not getting silverware at Wembley today. So, I think us Birmingham fans would probably take the championship over the Virtual Trophy.
Yeah,
I've not watched the game, but according to the stats, they were comprehensively beaten by Peterborough.
Two wonderful goals. I've seen the goals.
Yeah.
it just makes you wonder if it's a little bit. We've done it already this week, and maybe just took pressure on. Let's just go for the title with the point total now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Possibly, but you want to perform at Wembley, don't you? You would have thought professional pride sort of thing.
Yeah. Before we go to Wednesday and Jake, we will start with ATID so that I don't forget that I've started his comments. So he said very early on in the show, going to get me sixpence in now as I have a house view tonight. So he might be on his way. United, a cheating dirty team. Raksaki managed to recover from a terrible challenge by the wind to score for them. Second half, we went for it. Long story short, Wilder crying, money grabber rattled. United also hopes gone. Bastard Argyle. Love it.
I won't lie. When I saw they come through, I was like, that they've probably blown their playoffs. They're automatic now.
Yeah, I think they have.
I think they've got playoff now, United, and the form they've had recently, 3 on the bin now they've lost, and it's not. I think is it a case of pressure got to them a little bit, but it was a cracking goal to win it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The ball to him was
well,
fantastic, and it just shows you Plymouth are not out of this yet.
No,
they're not.
Still quite easily get out of this, and they're showing that they're fighting for it.
But the thing is with Argyle, the thing is with Argyle, terrific performance at home park yesterday. Yet in midweek they got blasted 3-0. Yeah,
that's the problem.
That's what the Donkeys done all season.
but that's the issue. That like I said earlier, there isn't a team. Teams are not consistent like they used to be.
Yeah,
you either can have one good result and then one bad result, or it's one bad result and then you go right. We'll pick this up. It's. I still worry for them.
I missed what you said, Ian, because ATID said we've got way too many games coming up, and shut the fuck up, Ian.
Yeah. I'm only being honest.
I was in Swansea for an hour.
So John said behaviour today by Birmingham players at the end was bad. I've not seen anything, but I'm sure it'll be all over social media, so we'll check that out. Obviously not used to losing. No, they've had a positive season of winning, so yeah. Disappointed to have lost today. And no need to talk about Swansea. He was only there for an hour. But no, fantastic result for Plymouth. It's put a massive dent in United's automatic hopes.
And we'll talk about it because we spoke about it before. At the end, got a bit feisty with Sheffield United, Argyle. Plymouth fans, Plymouth players obviously happy to get the loss. You've seen where, if you've ever been to Plymouth, that's where the away fan is, that's where the tunnel live. They just beat at the time, so you're going for automatics. It given their thing a give who. I think Wilder turned around and said to some fans, you're going down, fat boy, as well, which I don't agree with. I get that they get a lot of views back, but you're meant to be setting the example.
Yeah,
you're meant to set the example for your players. It's just the thing is, what gets me is Wilder's a really good manager, don't get me wrong. But he goes and does things like this, which makes everyone hate him.
Yeah.
When Warnock used to do it back in the day, he would do it as a laugh.
Yeah.
You can tell that it's not a laugh with Wilder.
Yeah. ATID's put water towards the tunnel and had a pop for doing it. Sour grapes by Handman. On to Wednesday though, Jake. 1-0 at Oxford. We've got SWFC Owls put a comment in.
First half was decent,
earlier
second
today.
half was crap.
Yeah. So first half was decent, but don't take the chances. So
the problem is that we are a team that cannot string a 90-minute performance together. We either do one really good 45 and don't capitalise, or we do one really bad 45, we're losing, and then the second 45 we do well. Now, again, Blackburn Rovers, we did it the opposite way round. We got 2-0 midweek, and then we blew it and made it 2-2. We were brilliant, but then we blew it. And the thing is, with everything that's going on with Wednesday at the minute, I'm waiting for the pop up on my phone app, because we've all got it on our app, where Twitter, you've got it as Donny Rovers, Rotherham, where if something happens, it pops up on your phone straight away. Danny Rule left at end of season due to whatever. I don't think we stay next season. I just don't think I don't think you can. Monday, we just paid the players on time to not get an embargo, and we can't have that happen again, because that happens again till now and June 30th. We are buggered. We will get an embargo. Yeah, on the game, we played well in the first half, but second half, they just showed up. They were very aggressive. They were in our face. They kept on crowding the keeper, which I think is the right thing to do at times when you're in the position they're in. One more win for the...
You'd think they'd know all about Will Volks's long throws, wouldn't you?
I think we did. I just think we were just poor at defending them, but we don't defend set pieces anyway that well. It's not something we're good at, and I think he's just running out of... I think he's running out of options off the bench, because we've got a couple of injuries. Barry Bannon could be out for the rest of the season. He got a knee injury. So when you think he's our crucial player to get everything ticking in midfield, behind the scenes, it's just a joke. Behind the scenes at our club is a joke. You've got academy players who are being let go. And one of the academy player mums turned around and said that Chansiri wanted 1.5 times the wage covering for an under 21-year-old to go to a league club. 1.5. The main team, you're meant to cover that. They're not meant to cover that. That's not how it works. No. And if you're doing that, you're ruining kids' futures and kids that we could have in.
Their chance, their development.
Look how many careers have blossomed by going on loan to
exactly.
places.
The amount of players we've not let out on loan and we're gone. We should be letting them out on loan play. And it's like, then you look at Bailey Cadamartri got a younger brother called Caleb Cole Cadamartri. He's better than his brother. He got 22 goals for the under 18s, and he's 15.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
He's 15, and Man City put a bid in for him this week, and we turned it down. The thing is, I have the thing where if you're going to have a academy player, you have to play them or let them go out on loan. The way the club's going, the open letter before the game, you might see the hashtag, enough is enough. I think when the fans are just sick of being made to feel like we're idiots.
Yeah.
Because we're not. He did an interview with the Star talking about the wage situation, said he doesn't have cash on hand or he's waiting to be paid. What club is waiting to be paid? You have a bank account full of cash ready.
Yeah.
It's this whole thing where it makes me as a content creator harder to do it, because I lock count how many of these statements or how many stupid things I've written about or wrote or said about DC or anything. It makes it harder. And this week has been really difficult to do because there's been a lot going on. And then you get people going, oh, he's doing a good job. He's done this and this. Well, hang on. We've had 2 embargoes while he's been in charge. We've been relegated. And that's all in 10 years. Yes, he nearly got to the Premiership twice, but nearly isn't there.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to do this, there's ways of running a club sustainably. We don't sell players. We let them go for nothing at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, not being able to pay people on time doesn't scream sustainable, does it?
No. Especially when one of them's the tax man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rule number 1 in business, pay the tax man because he's the one that'll screw you up the jacksy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
Always does a statement at midnight.
Don't I know it?
Mark's just popped in saying fans want Sharp gone at Donny. Group Facebook just checked. Wages is not on scoring like he does. For me, I just disagree with it. I think it's knee-jerk reaction to what Sharpie did on yesterday. I think he's our top scorer this season, if I'm not wrong. Or Molyneux, might be Molyneux. But if it's to do with goals, then we may as well get rid of Ironside because he scored 20 last season. He's only scored 6 this season. It is what it is.
Although Ironside's hardly played, has he? He's hardly played.
No. Yeah. I think, it's frustrating. Everyone's got their own opinion on it, and this is why we love and hate football. SWFC our home form is so bad this season. You were saying before with Ken
I'll say it again. Our home form is 5 home defeats in a row for the first time since 2009. Second lowest home point tally in the division with 22. Joint second highest number of home defeats with 9. Second worst home defense in the league with 30. But if you actually look at us away from home, we're a much better team. But I think there's no coincidence that we're bad at home due to the way everything's going. With stuff like there was a thing on by the Sheffield Wednesday supporter trust that was turn your back at 10 minutes for a minute, and a lot did. And I think it got to the point where there's more people that are against him that are with him now.
Yeah,
and it's a tide that can help change things, but I read the letter to you guys beforehand, and if you haven't seen the letter by Wednesday, why will some of you do so? It just reads of, I'm doing my best, but your best doesn't seem to be there.
Yeah. It's not great. I think the sooner he's out of the club, the
season as a whole. If you look at the season as a whole, Jake, it's a progression.
Oh, I should be sat here going, this is a great season from where we were last season. It's progression. We're not fighting relegation. We've done it early, and I'm thinking, but I can't do that. No. I should be talking about a season that's been absolutely fantastic, and I can't do it because of off-field antics again.
Yeah, there's probably a niggling doubt or worry of what next season holds.
Oh, don't. Our lass has already turned around and said she's just going to put a kitchen here. I'm going to live in here.
Moving back on to this weekend's results. Obviously, Sheffield United losing. Burnley beating Norwich 2-1 on Friday night, was it? Yeah, Friday night.
That first goal were a peach. That Hannibal, that Moroccan. That were a lovely goal. They're just doing it, aren't they, Burnley? They're just doing it quietly.
Yeah. You know what's really weird about Norwich?
They're not exciting many people, but
you know what the weird thing with Norwich are? That they're the first and third top goal scorers of the championship for Norwich, and I think they're in like 14th.
What the hell?
Yeah, is it Sainz and Sargent?
Yeah.
But yeah, good result. Like you saying, Burnley, they're not doing anything incredible. They're not kind of they are.
You notice when people don't talk about Burnley, but if you actually notice when people talk about Burnley, they drop off. When people think they're out of it, they start showing people what they can do.
They've only lost 2 league games all season. That is incredible.
Yeah, so they are doing bits. They're just kind of going about the business, though, aren't they? And
is that the first goal Burnley they conceded in like 17?
In ages, yeah.
In ages.
I were a bit miffed because on my fantasy league team, James Trafford was sort of,
Leeds as well. They capitalised on Sheffield United's
Wasn't
defeat.
Convincing though.
No.
I think they were
unlucky.
Kessler Hayden's goal really well. Each, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Very good finish.
I think you've got the thing with Leeds at the minute is they know what they can do at this time. Like last week, you could tell they were like, "Oh, we've blown it again. We've done it again." Like the thing is, there's a stupid record about them kicking off at R12 on a Saturday, and they lose most of them.
Yeah.
But I think for them, if they get a net couple, they're probably. I think you're looking at Burnley, Leeds United are up.
Yeah.
I think Sheffield United have got way too much to do now. It got to be a massive Leeds are falling apart again job for it to go wrong. Because I don't
there
think it'll
needs
be
to be a
Burnley.
capitulation, doesn't there?
Yeah.
And Leeds' Achilles heel is their away form.
Yeah.
At home, they're absolutely imperious. But away from home, shock results can happen.
Yeah.
It's the opposite to us.
Yeah. Statistically, though, in this game, it looks very similar to kind of what Rovers have done this season in terms of loads of shots at goal, but not many on target. But Leeds have got obviously better quality in the final third to put away a couple of goals in those.
I will say this. I wonder what would have happened if Barker dropped Messer a little bit earlier than he did.
Yeah.
Because I think he got to a cost him at least 15
points. Yeah.
He got to cost him at least 15 points minimum.
Yeah, easy. Any other games that you boys want to touch on before we have a look at the table and move on to the fantasy EFL?
Good win for Millwall.
Go on. Oh,
That's
yeah.
a cracking win for Millwall. It kind of just puts them in contention a little bit and just go on a little bit of a run. I think he's done a cracking job there to turn it around a little bit and make them competitive. This is one of those games where Middlesbrough have that little wobble, and can they sustain it and keep it going? Because they do have a little bit of that little. When one of these happen, they can sometimes go the other way and lose a couple, and it's not the time for losing a couple.
No.
I think they're good enough to make the playoffs, though, Borough. I don't think they are good enough.
Yeah, like Jake says, it's just kind of following this result up with a positive one.
Yeah.
If not, it's a little mini rut, isn't it? Ian, you wanted to touch on a game before we look at the table?
I think Derby. I think they are battling. I think they're a lot better than they have been like February and March. At least they're putting a shift in. I mean, that point in midweek when they drew at home to Burnley, that was an exceptional point. That. And that Robert Atkinson, that Pompey defender, scoring a hat trick, 2 for his own team and 1 for the opposition.
He did. He may have got a hat trick, but he did make up for it, so he'll be able to go home and go, at least I managed to save it and I wasn't losing the points.
Yeah, he's had a mad 20 minutes there, hasn't he?
I think Pompey are safe now.
Yeah.
Probably not mathematically safe, but I think they'll be okay now, Pompey. Because
what's everyone thought with
Jake
next season? Because he's technically a Swansea player.
Yeah,
and I think he put himself in the window.
Yeah.
To possibly leave Swansea in the summer.
It depends if Derby can afford him, to be honest with you. And if not, I'm sure a championship club will pick him up.
Yeah, because he's still capable of finding back at net.
And I think he's still only about 26, 27 year old.
One of my mates wants to sign him because he's godson.
Yeah.
I'd certainly take him
in, Donny. They've given themselves a chance, haven't they, at Derby? A good chance.
Yeah. I mean, it's very, very tight down at the bottom. Hull play Coventry tomorrow. But Plymouth and Luton are both giving themselves...
Right. Well, if you actually look at the games that are coming up, Cardiff have got Sheffield United next.
Yeah.
I believe Luton have got... I believe have they got Leeds? I might be wrong here. Hang on.
No, I think Luton played Leeds recently.
They've played them already, haven't they? Yeah, it's Luton Derby.
Oh.
So it's Luton Derby. It's Luton Derby on Friday. Plymouth have got Middlesbrough, so we talk about that game that you want to bounce back in.
Yeah.
And Cardiff have got Sheffield United. And then on Monday, Luton have got Bristol City.
Yeah.
Plymouth have got Coventry.
Oh.
Cardiff have got Oxford, and Hull have got Preston.
Yeah, so no easy games coming up.
No.
I can see the relegation battle going to the final day.
Yeah.
Which credit to the teams down there, because we had ATIDs had Plymouth written off from I think 26th of August or something. So to be at this stage with 4 games to go,
however long Wayne Rooney was in charge for, is how long he's had them down.
Yeah. The concern for me for Plymouth and Luton, although they're only 3 points behind Derby, is the 16. 28 goals behind them on goal difference. So that's
you can see somebody getting relegated on goal difference, can't you?
Yeah.
I mean, Derby's -10. Derby's -10 and Hull's -9. They're like another point.
Yeah,
I
they're
won't
driving
lie.
seat on that, aren't they?
I see. You look at Cardiff. I think if Cardiff go down, there could be a big problem for them financially.
Yeah.
And they've been that team for the last couple of seasons. They've been like the Birmingham, just being able just to be above. And like you look at like Stoke are gonna have to have a big season next season, complete rebuild, a complete thing because they should be nowhere near there. But they're also one of those teams that ran out of the parachute payments a couple of seasons ago and now having to see what happens. Same with Norwich. Pompey should be happy with that for the first season back. Kept them competitive. Really good.
Yeah, there's 4 games to go though, so they'll want to get a few more points. I know. I think I agree with you, and I think they are probably safe. They're not mathematically safe, but there's 4 points.
When you start going up the table in a minute, I've still got a little bit in my heart, because the 12 points still to play for, and 10 points between us and Cardiff. I do think we're safe, but look at that form.
You'll be fine, mate. I do think probably up to maybe Stoke. Will still be.
Well, they play us on Friday, so
Stoke have found a bit of form, haven't they? Though,
yeah,
2 wins and 2 draws. Yeah.
I think you look at where Norwich are. You just think they should be a lot higher.
Yeah,
where they are, and I think you're looking at a couple of teams who have got new manager to a new league who haven't done it there. I know it's the owl in me, but it's anyone could get playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Millwall, Middlesbrough, West Brom, all 2
Coventry game in hand till tomorrow.
I'd say Blackburn, Watford.
Look at where Bristol City are. Quite an unfashionable club, Bristol City.
Yeah, but
they've had a fantastic season.
But if you look at what they do in the transfer window, they put a statement out saying we're not spending this much because we don't need to, we can't do this, we've got a budget set, and this is where we're going to. Like Sunderland, at the minute, if you look at anyone in that kind of thing, you want to play teams in the playoffs, you don't want Coventry, you don't want Bristol City.
Yeah.
Because Sunderland are not doing well, Sheffield United are not doing well.
Yeah. Yeah, so Coventry would fancy the chances against Sheffield United. Bristol City probably fancy the chances against Sunderland.
Exactly, yeah.
Every time I look at that table, I can't believe that Burnley have only conceded 13 league goals in 42 games.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
That is just absolutely... It is.
The record is 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolute madness.
It's incredible.
But the top 2 there, I believe, are the top 2 that we'll see at the end of the season. Which way round? Anybody's guess.
I don't think either one care. Leeds don't want playoffs again because they don't do them.
Yeah. 5 points for Sheffield United in 4 games to overtake Burnley or Leeds. It's going to have to take a huge drop off from either one of those teams, and they've only lost 6 games. In 84 between them, so I don't think that's going to happen in the next 8 deal.
No.
I won't lie though. West Brom, you look at the lot are on 60. Only take for Coventry not to capitalise. Anyone could jump in that. I think it's West Brom. Who else is it?
Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough. They could easily get that.
Yeah. And if you're looking for a form team, Millwall.
Yeah.
0 goal difference though.
Yeah, true.
Bizarre. Lovely stuff. So that is all 3 divisions covered. Let's have a quick look at the Fantasy EFL. It's been a decent. Not had a good weekend. Not bad points in and around. It was a couple of 40s, 44s. It's nice to see that everybody's getting over that 1100 mark now. 27 people involved, so we'll scroll up if you see your name. Improvement needed for next season if you're this low down. But hopefully it goes on for next season.
Look at that 22. It's pathetic.
Is that? I don't think it's the worst though.
Drum and bass 22 there.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Joint word.
The only caveat I'd say, because I had 2 Rovers players in my team and they could come good at Salford.
Maybe.
Not many movers though this week.
No, a couple of up and down, but not much.
Just Bailey, stop it for God's sake.
Say what you really mean, because you weren't going to say Bailey stop it. You're going to Bailey piss off.
Yeah.
So that is the EFL Fantasy League covered. Job done. And that brings us to the end of episode 98. I just want to thank everybody for spending an hour or so of your Sunday evening listening to us rabbit on. We'll go around the screen, starting with Ian. Any final words, mate?
No, enjoyable as always. Good therapy session. And just support your EFL club, because there's no leagues in the world like it.
No.
For excitement, drama, or anything.
I agree with that. Jake, any final words, mate?
I'll leave it on a little bit of a somber note. I don't mean to, but on Friday I buried my auntie, who had a quick cancer, just took her completely. So say you love your loved ones, keep them close, and just if there's a chance to make something right, try and do so, because you never know what's around the corner. And
Oh, sorry to hear it, mate, but I think you've said something that's really important there, about just saying that you love the people that are close to you and appreciating what you've got. And I certainly appreciate everybody that comes onto this on a Sunday. It's a bit of a release.
I think one of my favorite lines that one of the vloggers I watch uses, and I think you might appreciate it, Dan. Thank you for wasting your time watching my time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
Good. Yeah, I like that.
We might nick that.
That's why I said it.
But no, it is a release and a bit of time away from kind of the trials and tribulations of normal life. So I hope that everybody's enjoying it as much as we are creating it and just waffling on for just over an hour. So we appreciate it. If you're watching this through the week, stick a big thumbs up on it. Get the comments in the section down below. Hit the description to see these guys' links. Go over to them and subscribe. Let's get Jake to 4,500 as soon as possible. Incredible.
Yeah, me to 10.
There we go. We'll get in a few as well. But no, I believe we should be here next weekend. If not, I'll put a post out.
How do you want to do next weekend? Because it's a double weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll work it out.
Yeah. Keep an eye on socials.
Yeah. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it, big thumbs up, comments in the section down below. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
See ya.